great-grandchildren, and all the extended family members and friends and musicians far and wide across the state and across Australia. Danny, your gentle kindness and talent during those early wonderful years when we lived over there. Those amazing tours, the countless gigs that touched Claire and our family, Millie and Luke. So many beautiful memories that will always remain and will never be forgotten. Your voice and your legend will always live on in your songs. From all these musicians and people who played the piano all over the years, rest in peace, our special friend.
And to Wall Street and all around, because it was an experience of traveling which got into and got under their skin, and they traveled. They made music and was awarded a Deadly Award, which I think you mentioned, but it was not an easy journey. When you think that they were booked to play in a pub and the pub wouldn't allow them to book a room, right? In their own town, the Rodeo, they would pay $5,000 for a band from Perth. They wouldn't pay $600 at the Fitzroy Express. But we got them going. We got them going. And finally, in their own town now, they were not allowed to play because the minute Fitzroy Express mentioned is being asked to play, the whole Kimberley would turn up, and of course, eventually there'd be things that happen.
Things that happen.
So what did they do? They didn't lay down and say, "Oh well, we'll give up." No. Danny got a bit of land, his parents' land, cleared the land, fenced the place, created a stage.
All right.
Got electricity in there, and if you don't know Fitzroy Crossing, you don't know anything. It was hard, but they succeeded. They created an old place out of town so that they could play their music in their own town.
Oh, that's amazing.
Of our brother, our bandmate, and our inspiration from all those amazing times in Fitzroy Crossing. Right back to the early days when this man here started the band. Back in the early 80s. So where do we start? What do we say? Our heart aches. So for all the musicians, singers, there's so many gigs right across the Kimberley, tours, rehearsal rooms, recording rooms. So many wonderful classic songs, the fun, the crazy parties, the wild crowds down the crossing in, boomerangs and fights, gigs in remote communities all over the Kimberley, gigs in the dirt, under the sun, on the backs of trucks, on basketball courts, in the sun, right through the sweltering Kimberley wet season nights.
Grow, big things grow.
These several iconic albums, live in Room 92, the first live recording, a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, Home Sweet Home, that I hear every Friday night from my little place at the old post office coming out of the Cage Bar at the last song of the night. Hard Times, 2013. And it was that mixture of music and his voice that shone in solo tracks like Raining on the Rocks with Paul Kelly, a song for Grandma. While he could have gone solo, he remained loyal to Fitzroy Express.
It is those memories that we all hold on to and hope that through your lives, then you continue to reflect on them and enjoy them. It's not often someone who finds what they do enjoyable to the point where you're good at it as well.
When Danny was starting to spread his wings, well, I was a teacher, I could not suggest too much. Whatever he suggested, I took on board and worked on it. Like when he says, can we play derby? I said, yeah, you can play anyway. So he said, what to do? I said, well, I know what to do. But so I said, what about you doing it? So he did. He said, I said, where do you want to play? Or at the hall. I said, who runs the hall? Who owns the hall? He said, oh, the Shire. I said, well, that's where you got to go. So I didn't tell him to do it. He suggested, I suggested, and he did it.
That was very, very impressive. That's probably the best funeral I've ever seen. It was amazing. Just amazing. Amazing, amazing setup here. Very somber.
Strangely enough and ironically enough, he was named after a great singer. The ceremonial man, Gidja man, Monty Hale. Great singer, great Wonga man, Jumba, you name it, he could sing it. Easy and respectful, and we respect people here today and forevermore that if you want to call his name, Rungwelling, Danny. Danny being the name that his father gave him. Because back in the day there was no headbanging music or rock and roll, only country music. And his father used to listen to Jim Reeves singing Danny Boy. And he captured that name, and that's where he got his English name from. And today, if you feel you want to call his name and be with him and say that, that's fine with our family.
Yeah, it's only a bugger all, basically no graffiti yet. Funeral of Mr. Marr here on Saturday. It's Thursday at the moment. A lot of these birds around here, this sort of birds of prey, sort of. Quite a few of them. The mornings are always good times. The old bee camp that was used for the bridge rebuild will be no more by Monday or so.
And you have an idea, you could be someone out of Fitzroy Crossing and still be connected to this country.
It was an experience of traveling which got into and got under his skin. They made music and was awarded a Deadly Award, which I think you mentioned. But it was not an easy journey. When you think that they were booked to play in a pub and the pub wouldn't allow them to book a room, right? In their own town, the Rodeo, they would pay $5,000 for a band from Perth. They wouldn't pay $600 at the Fitzroy Express. Well, we got them going. We got them going. And finally, in their own town now, they were not allowed to play because the minute Fitzroy Express mentioned is being asked to play, the whole Kimberley would turn up, and of course, eventually there'd be things that happen.
Things that happen.
So what did they do? They didn't lay down and say, oh, well, we'll give up. No. Danny got a bit of land, his parents' land, cleared the land, fenced the place, created a stage,
Alright.
got electricity in there, and if you don't know Fitzroy Crossing, you don't know anything. It was hard, but they succeeded. They created an old place out of town so that they could play their music in their own town.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
wonderful.
it was a very, very hard journey. And for those of you who've never heard of the Fitzroy Express, go on YouTube,
Yeah.
knock it up, and you'll learn all about them. They've succeeded, yes, but not because
Rest in peace,
anybody's help, but their
Mr.
own
Marr, Danny
determination
Marr.
and eagerness to succeed.
Rest in peace.
And to tell you more, Mr. John Smoker.
Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I'm here to acknowledge all the past members that Danny and the band, Curtin will soon go up and they'll do a song, have been on for the last, believe it or not, 38 years since Danny first started in Fitzroy Crossing. And it's just wonderful that Wham now, after 38 years, acknowledging this wonderful band and the amazing journey that Danny Marr and the guys have been on. So I just quickly acknowledge the band actually started out as Alan and the River Rangers, and Peter will attribute to that because Peter was responsible for starting that band at the school in Fitzroy Crossing. So big hand for Peter for actually starting Fitzroy Express as a school band. Started off as Alan and the River Rangers, and then one day Danny said to Peter, what do we call it? And I'm certain this is true, but Peter suggested Fitzroy Express.
He's currently in Japan, playing at the opening of the World Trade Fair. He wanted to be here. He offers his condolences to Roberta and family. That's it. And to all of Janjo, because this way he also started as part of Fitzroy Express. We've got videos of it, and everyone, thank you, Roberta and family, our deepest condolences.
Honda. Kawara. Karagamanu. Yananga. Poyananu. Nekali Yakaraga. Hanani. Yamini Boga. Kanaga Nelu. Paramanu Nelu. Warada. Warada. There are nine Arabic. Nine Arabic. Enanga. Yananga. Mamu Yamana Yadar. Nelu Moai. Nangara Nelu. Rodana. Yananga. Rodana. Porga. Yumara. Yang jadi